cool. Well, I guess we can go ahead and get started. This is not planning to play through a whole seed. Figured this might be most fun to try this out on the highest difficulty settings, which means there's a good chance we'll run into like something we can't do. Theoretically could be done. We'll see, I guess. So yeah, this is the website, maprando.com. Just put in the input ROM. Yeah, I can explain a little bit some of the settings. The skill assumption here, these are just like presets to select like all of the tech from the SM-JSON data that you want to be assumed. So that could possibly be required. So expert or whatever will select literally everything. Yeah, there's like assumptions on the Shining Spark tiles for short charging. Yeah, the easier settings or whatever will have a multiplier here on the resources to assume you're not going to have to use up like all of your energy. Yeah, because the logic here does take into account like the hot rooms, so how much heat damage you're going to take going through the room. So that can be pretty challenging without any like multiplier here. But yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess, if we just try this. And then the item placement logic, the open versus closed. I think closed makes this more interesting. Basically, the item placement is going to try to place the items in such a way that it forces like a linear progression. So like the first item it places, it'll look at new locations, new item locations that are unlocked by grabbing that item, and it will try to place like the next progression item in one of those locations. So that you can't just have access to like all the items from the beginning. If you do open, it will just place the next progression item in any like, it'll just randomly choose any accessible location. So closed will tend to give us more like linear progression. Of course, there could be sequence breaks if there's stuff that you can do that's not in the logic. There's probably not that much. I mean, there's probably always some stuff. Like I know there's like high level tech or whatever that's not in the logic yet, but anyways, yeah, so we can give it a try. Yeah, here's the seed. I can put the seed in the chat in case anyone wants to like run this, generate the same seed. So oh yeah, I should probably explain, like, so it's going to take at least a few seconds after clicking generate ROM here. Just watch the spinning wheel here. It is working. I didn't, like, this front end is kind of just hacked together, so it doesn't really show it, but it is working. Anyways, okay, yeah, we got a seed. Yeah, so the map generation actually is done ahead of time, so that's done offline. That's maybe at some point we could do that in real time, but basically I generated like 100,000 maps or something on my GPU, like on my GPU training setup or whatever that I used for this, and it could be done in real time. It takes like a few seconds to generate a map on CPU with like 4 cores or something. But generally, it's not quite workable yet because like most maps don't actually work. Like because you can, for instance, have like too difficult of a room like right next to the ship. Like you can't get to your first item. Like if it's too long of a hot room or something, that's like pretty common. Only about like 10% of the maps are viable. So it's just a little bit too slow right now. At some point we could improve the model to stop that from happening. But for now, yeah, the maps are done. Here, let me switch to the normal setup. Here we go, yeah.
Can you send me the files?
Oh yeah, and then here's Kyle. Kyle's on the couch. Okay, so here's the seed we just generated. So there's like 4 files in here. So aside from the ROM, there's 2 maps. So there's this. This is the map using colored according to the areas that are assigned in the game. So this dark gray is criteria. So you can see this one is landing site. Let's see. Yeah, you can see my mouse cursor. So here's the ship. This is where. So right now the randomizer, you always start at the ship. So this is like criteria. But all these other rooms, of course, could be from other like parts of the game. So the other map, if you're trying to like find a certain room, it's easier to look at the other maps. This map, because this shows you the color of the area of the vanilla room, like that it's from. So let me explain, I guess, a little bit better. So the colors here. So the dark gray is criteria, light gray is Turian, red is Norfair, blue is Meridia, yellow is Rex Ship, and green is Brinstar.
So like if you pause the game, that's what it was.
Yeah, it'll show you that's the area if you're like when you pause the game. And also like the map, when you cross over to a different area, the map will load for that area, right? So as far as like the game is concerned, these are the areas, but the rooms themselves like come from lots of different areas. So like this, and so you can maybe recognize some of the rooms. For instance, like this is Lava Dive, right? This is the Norfair room. You can kind of tell by the shape of the room. Anyway, so this just can be useful for like navigating the map if you get lost. And then we have the spoiler log, which mostly just has like this route. So this is not necessarily like an efficient route through the game, but this is basically like the simulated route that the game took while it was generating, while it was like placing the items. So like it's going to start out at landing site of the ship. This is kind of funky. It starts out with 7 max energy. I'm going to fix this, but this is a hack for right now because I didn't want to take into account the possibility of shine spark energy requirements taking you below 29 and the shine spark not working because of that. So I didn't like code that up quite accurately, and so this is just a hack that made it pretend you have 29 less energy than you actually do. So I guess it's a little more forgiving because for most things you're going to have 29 extra energy that the randomizer didn't know about.
You said that this was not a very efficient way through the game, but if you have closed item logic, it is fairly efficient.
Yeah, it can be okay. It can do silly things sometimes for sure, but it should be like. It shouldn't be too bad. Like you can actually follow the individual steps. Okay, we're spoiling it already. It's going to give us morph first. That's probably not that common. You don't usually get morph first, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, should we actually try it out? Try out the seed. So yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a whole seed here. I'll probably just go until we get stuck. We could try another seed or look at the spoiler log and see what's happening. Oh yeah, we're in the middle of messing around with the title screen. You can tell the palette's a little messed up, the background. So this is not exactly finished, but let's see. Let me switch it back to the game capture. Go a little smoother. Yeah, so we don't have like the actual title set up yet, but there we go. We changed it a little bit to kind of represent how the game is mixing up all the areas. Oh yeah, let's see if we get to the map stations. You'll see actually the map stations work, and they reveal like the map for the area that you're in. So, which can actually be useful in this randomizer, since you don't know what the map is going to look like. Let's see. Okay, I don't know why it did that. Whatever. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, we're not going this way. Oh yeah, we have some like water physics coming in. That's kind of funny. That can happen. Yeah, so that might be a bug, I guess. I think I've seen this happen one other time. guess it makes sense. Maybe this just always happens when you exit a water room like that. Maybe we need to run like do something different with the door transition.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah, it is pretty rare. I think we've only seen it like one other time. Oh, okay. By the way, I'm going to use save states in this just because otherwise I'm definitely going to get soft locked and it's going to be a huge pain. What were you saying, Kyle?
He was asking if we added restart from ship.
Oh, yeah, we were thinking about that because we were worried about soft locks. Yeah, I mean, most of the soft lock stuff hasn't been as bad as I thought it would be, I guess. Other than like there's situations like this, we're gonna have to do a quick crumble. Most of that stuff is like locked behind text. So if we had done this with like a beginner preset, we wouldn't be having this soft lock possibility. Oh wow. Okay. So we have more. I guess actually, yeah, that still would have been a soft lock. Oh, now we can mock ball. That's right. It's like, wait, what does morph do for us? Okay. We have to reset the room. I'm just gonna take a damage and do this so that I can more easily create my saves. I'm not that great at this. Let's try this. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like making a save state all the time, probably, because these two do tend to be kind of ridiculous. These seeds, what you have to do. I mean, sometimes they're not, but I guess I could check that item, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go check that item.
You can check this item too.
What's that?
Oh, I know you went the one in the Redis first.
Oh yeah, there's another door. We can go that door. So there's no like gray doors in this game. We turned all the doors blue. Oh wow, E-tank. That's generous. It probably means we're gonna need it for a hell run because it should, with the closed item logic, it should be placing the E-tanks. It shouldn't place them until the end, basically. So it shouldn't just give us free E-tanks.
It's really weird.
I can't remember how you do this one.
You have to go all the way to the left.
All the way to the... Oh, it's the camera scroll thing. Is that the camera scrolls? Yeah. We need it to be scrolled more. And then we just have to go fast. Okay. Cool. I guess I'll fix this. Oh yeah! There was another item in here. Let's get the other item.
So the way that it places items, we should talk about how it chooses E-tanks and missiles and all that stuff.
Yeah. So basically, at the very end, after placing all the progression items, it's going to fill everything up with missiles. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of missiles early in the game. But basically everything else gets placed as late as possible. So like the extra E-tanks and power bombs and super missiles get placed at locations that are, yeah, I can go up there. Oops. They get placed at locations that, just stay there so you don't have to watch me climb out of the water. Okay, well, maybe. Yeah, this could be in logic, I guess. Yeah, this is why I like save state after every room, because like every room could be a hot room that, well, let's just see what's over here first. Let's see if we hopefully don't have to do that. Oh, okay. This is the pit room. So this is like the only room in the game where there's still gray doors. And I left these gray doors because this is how you make ZBs awake.
Most people don't know how it works. You should explain.
Yeah. So so this room, when you have missiles and morph, this room, the enemies spawn in this room. I think a lot of people think that entering this room with the missiles is what makes zombies awake, but actually you have to have morph and missiles, and it only spawns the enemies in the room. What actually turns zombies awake is when you shoot one of these gray doors that are locked by the enemies being killed. Oh yeah, blame you for the heat room numbers if they're annoying. No, it's fine. Makes it interesting. Yeah, we were thinking of. So one of the things we haven't done is figured out what to do for the escape. Because right now I think we just set the timer to like 5 minutes, which should probably be enough. But I guess depending on the map, it might not. Like if Mother Brain is really far away from the ship. But we were thinking about adding like stuff in the logic, basically the equivalent of heat frames, but for like every single strat.
For non-heated rooms.
What's that?
For non-heated rooms as well.
Yeah, not just for hot rooms, but like every room, like frames to execute the strat. Because then you could actually figure out like how much time it will take to get back to the ship. And then you could also, I guess, use. I've seen like Varia has like a always hot mode where like every room is a hot room. You could do that too, I guess, with that. But it's a lot of work to like go back through the SM-JSON data and add basically like the heat frames, but just frames for every single room, every single strat.
I don't think you finished talking about how to make zombies awake.
Yeah. So we made zombies awake because we shot the gray door that was blocked by killing the enemies in the room. That is what unlocks it. And right now, that's the only room in the game that will do that. There are other games in the vanilla ROM that have enemies where if you kill the enemies, it will unlock the gray door. So like Metal Pirates, for instance, is one. Like the the Kai Hunter room before Spore Spawn. So those actually can be used to wake ZBs as well in the vanilla game. Although like you can't actually do it in the vanilla game, I guess. At least not without doing something crazy, like going out of bounds or something. I don't even know if that's possible. I don't know. But yeah, basically the vanilla game, it only happens in the pit room. And so we made it just in this game, like you can only do it in the pit room too, because the other ones don't have gray doors anymore.
And then how does ZB's Awake help you?
So ZB's, okay, I don't really want to go this way. ZB's Awake unlocks, there's a few items that don't spawn until ZB's is awake, right? Yeah, so like in
the morph ball room.
Like the final missile, I think the final missile room, the missile doesn't spawn until that. Yeah, there's another item in the morph ball room, the one that's power bombs in vanilla. Is also blocked by ZB's Awake. Oops. Hopefully I don't need that energy. Okay. Oops. Yeah, whatever. So, I guess, I don't know, this seed hasn't been super crazy so far. I say that as I'm like dying. Okay.
So they're asking about the music.
The music? Yeah, that's a good... We were thinking about... Well, at one point I was thinking about like randomizing the areas, like the rooms just within their area. And that was like too hard to do, like in terms of like the training the model. Like it maybe could be done, but I wasn't able to succeed at it yet. Yeah, I was kind of worried about that, like the music, like changing like on almost every like door transition. It is kind of weird, but you kind of get used to it. I don't know, but it's an interesting idea. I guess I have some question of like, if it will just like work. Can we just do that with the ROM? Or is it gonna like a bunch of sounds gonna be messed up? I think that, yeah, I can't remember how it works. I haven't really tried messing with the sound, so I haven't gotten really into that with the ROM hacking side of it. But yeah, I think I guess like Varia has a mode, right, where it randomizes the songs or something. I guess it basically works. Like there's some rooms where the sound effects are a little glitchy, but okay. Let's see. So what are we doing? We got it.
I know where to go if you want help.
Well, we got an E-tank, so I'm guessing that means we probably have to do a hell run.
You do.
I mean, I think we've kind of already explored all the options that don't require a hell run. There's 2 hell runs. There's one through like what was that room called? The Lower Norfair one, with those blue guys on the ceiling.
Yeah, there's that one.
There's that one. Yeah, and then there's the double chamber.
And then the right.
Well, do you want to tell me? I guess Kyle's looking at the spoiler log. I don't know. I'm just gonna go try to do the easier one first. I can't remember what that room is called, the Lower Norfair one, but that one seems challenging. Yeah, but no, it's an interesting idea about the music. Okay, oh, I didn't even fill up all the way. That's probably a mistake. Ow. Okay, this is definitely one for save states. Okay.
Yeah, so the easier modes, they also give you, you don't need to be as precise with your health, right?
Right, because they have a multiplier, so they'll say, like the easy setting says, like, that this will actually take 3 times as much health as you know, the heat frames say that it should. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have to get close to him to trigger him to fire his shot, and then jump off him, I guess. Okay. Yes. This would be ridiculous without save states. So I guess there is an item in this room, or we could go to the right. Okay, let's just go peek at the item if I can make it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Can't quite.
Almost couldn't see it.
It's probably going to be a missile, and then I won't have to go over there.
You might want to get a little more help.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, fine. We'll go back and farm up. Go back to the pit room, I guess. Oh yeah, yeah, I was just looking at the map. Yeah, I guess you can kind of see some tiles are missing and the elevator, yeah, you can kind of see it here. That's annoying. We'll fix that. But yeah.
It's common for elevators. It shouldn't really affect much else.
Yeah, it's only the elevators that are a little messed up. Yeah, I could show you. This is just like a little tool that we made here. I haven't. Yeah, it's mostly like been a debugging tool for us. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. So you can basically like pick the region. So let's go to this room. Norfair, East, double chamber. So we're going from 2 to 1. I need to turn off. I guess we'll leave on the tech because that's what we're doing. I'm going to turn off all the flags and items. Well, I guess we have some items, but they probably don't matter. So we want to go from node 2 to node 1. So this will basically show the strats. Okay, so it says it requires 62 energy with this item loadout.
But
yeah.
You were interested in getting the item.
Oh yeah, we're also interested in getting the item. So 2 to 4. So I guess we have to go to 2 to 1 and then from 1 to 4. Because there's no like node directly to 4. We could have it, or strat directly from 2 to 4. It seems like it should be a little less help going directly from 2 to 4, but whatever. This will just make it a little bit. So 62 to 1, and then from 1 to 4 is like. Oh, wait, is that right? Is it actually another 62? Okay, I'm kind of surprised that it's the same.
And then you can show them down at the bottom the actual JSON.
Oh yeah, and then if you want to see like the actual, this is like the SMJSON data for the room. Like this is the whole thing for the room, so it doesn't matter which nodes you have selected up here. It's just kind of useful for like browsing this to kind of debug what's going on with the randomizer sometimes. Yeah, let's see the 62. Like you want me to do it with 62 energy? Yeah. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, also the obstacles. So you notice here this says like this represents like that obstacle A is cleared. Yeah, this was kind of tricky for a while, like figuring out how to handle this in the randomizer logic. What we ended up doing is rooms that have obstacles in them, we ended up like making a we ended up like multiplying the set of nodes. So like each node actually becomes 2 different nodes, one with obstacle A cleared and one with obstacle A not cleared. And so then all of the strats basically, it kind of changes what the destination node is. So this strat like takes you from the node 1 without the obstacle cleared to node 4 with the obstacle cleared. There's a few rooms that have a lot of obstacles, like that big pink has 6 obstacles. So then that multiplies the number of nodes in the room by 64. So it's a little bit ridiculous, but it's just barely okay, I think. Like it does make the graph a little bigger, which slows down the logic, and maybe you could probably simplify it somehow, but it works. It allows us to like handle the obstacles correctly. Okay. Anyways.
But the spoiler log can do really silly things.
Oh yeah, because it picks a So I call it a vertex. Basically, is a node plus an obstacle state. A vertex is actually like a node of our graph that the randomizer is traversing. And basically, it's picking a random vertex to go to with the item location. Because if you can get to this item either with the obstacle cleared. So let's say you came from door 3. If we were coming from the right, you could get to this item either with the obstacle cleared or not, right? Like if you had wave, you could go ahead and shoot it before you got here, and that would be 2 different vertices that you could get to, and it will actually just pick one of them at random as your destination. And so like sometimes the spoiler log will tell you to do silly things, to like go blow up this obstacle before you get the item, and then not use the obstacle at all, just because that was the state of the room that it randomly chose to have you get to. But whatever, it doesn't really seem to be a problem, I guess. It just is kind of funny in the spoiler log. Okay. let's see. So I guess we're here now. Let's try this again. This again. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, let's get this one. Okay, yeah. That was a good way to go.
That was where I wanted you to go. You chose correctly.
I chose correctly. Yeah. Okay, we don't have bombs yet. So this one, like, compared to other randomizers, it does tend to be stingy with, like, the bombs. Like, I think most of the randomizers, you have power bombs, like, sprinkled everywhere, but with the closed logic here, the power bombs get placed out of reach, basically. So you're not going to get it, unless it decided to choose it for progression. You're not going to get it. Okay. I guess I could actually go up the right there. I just need some more help because I'm going to have to take a spike hit. I guess technically a spike hit only takes 30 energy, but I might want more energy anyways, so I'm going to farm back up.
So, Current, you should explain how farms work in the logic.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't... yeah, that's one thing that's actually kind of missing from the randomizer right now. The only farms that are in logic are those that are marked in the game as farmable, like an enemy as farmable. And so those are basically only the enemies that respawn within the same room, like the little guys that come up out of the tubes or whatever. So these enemies, like this farm, is actually not in logic. So we'll fix that at some point. It's just, in general, like the strats that require you to reset the room, we haven't necessarily implemented. We basically just say that resetting the room is free, which could theoretically make a seed unbeatable, I guess. If there's some situation where you actually can't reset a room, like for instance, resetting a room can require. I forgot what was through here. Oh, we don't want to go that way, right? We already went that way. Oh, whoops. Resetting the room can require you to take some heat damage, for instance, in the next room if you don't have area. And I guess if you're resetting the room for a vertical door, like you could actually not be able to come back. Like if you're going down to Oasis, for instance. I think
there are a couple others, like the room that goes back into Big Pink from the bottom of Mission Impossible is very hard to.
Yeah. The room that comes out of the bottom of Mission Impossible in Big Pink is very difficult to re-enter. So, like, you wouldn't really want to say that was free. Maybe with certain tech you could say it's allowed in logic, but you wouldn't want that to be required on, like, easy settings.
And then there are 2 rooms in the game that you actually can't reset, and that's the one that leads into Mother Brain and Crocmire's room. The back door.
Oh, yeah. That's, like, kind of a major bug that we have right now. So, like, any door going to the right potentially could crash the game if it's Mother Brain or Crocomire on the other side. Well, not exactly crash the game, but make us be stuck. It's basically like crashing. The graphics will be all messed up and stuff.
You can't get out of the room.
And you can't get back out. Okay, we got bombs. Nice.
There was another question.
Oh, yeah, let's see. No, it's not a max. It's just like, right now I'm not storing the maps very efficiently. I'm like storing them as a JSON file, and they're basically just packaged into the Docker image for the game, for the randomizer. And so right now, the 100,000 maps that I've generated are using up like 1.5 gigabytes or something inside the Docker image. At some point, like it's going to get too big. But mostly I just stopped because it took like about a week to like prune those maps. The area assignment also, like the way that, so I have the model, the neural network that generates the maps, and then I have another step that colors them, basically assigns each room to an area, to try to make the areas roughly equal sized and kind of, it tries to make them kind of clustered so that like there's not too many edges crossing from one area to another. And that thing, I used some like off-the-shelf clustering algorithm or something, and it's pretty slow. It requires like lots of attempts to get a good result. I think I looped through it like 1,000 times on average, probably. So that's like could be improved, but that's another part that's just being done offline now. Let's see, where am I going? We have bombs, so there's like, where was? Oh, it was up there, huh? We could have used the bombs. There was like the final missile bomb way up here, wasn't there? To the left, I thought. I can't remember. I think it is.
So because the logic is closed, that means that whenever you get a new item, you have to use that to get to your next item.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good indicator of which direction to go.
Yeah. At least that's what the randomizer tries to do. And you can actually check on the spoiler log to see if it thinks it was successful. There's some cases where it just can't do that. Like especially once you get down to the end, where you're starting to get enough items that stuff starts to open up and it can't like lock more items behind it. But you'll be able to see it in the spoiler log. Oh, are we gonna have to? Oh, we have bombs now. I was gonna say we're gonna have to do the bug boost here. We had to see where that's required. Where you have to like, if you don't have bombs here, you can get through here with just morph. I guess is all you need.
You should explain it.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that one. It's fairly ridiculous. You have to like, you spawn the bug, and then you do like a mock ball to like get in through here as fast as possible while still having the bug follow you, and then you get a deboost from the bug. Oh, first you have to shoot this and then get a deboost from the bug to get over here. It's kind of ridiculous, but it is in the SMJSON data. We don't have to do it this time. Okay, don't have supers. Can't go down there. We can get this item though. I guess we got to do this the long way.
There are a lot of strats like that in the game. We've had some pretty challenging scenes. A lot of ice clips.
Yeah, I learned about the BTOM ice clip. I'd never known about that before. That was required in one of the seeds. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's like in what's that room called? The Edakun E-Tank room. Where there's the crumble blocks on the left side, the little like hidden pit that you fall down. Yeah, you can come up through that pit with an ice clip. You have to freeze the BTOM. Yeah. Okay. What is this? That's a missile. Okay. Cool. Guess we have a couple doors we can go through here. Oh wait, yeah. X-ray? Really?
You're probably gonna have to do some X-ray.
We're gonna have to do X-ray climbs, probably. I've never done an X-ray climb before, so we'll figure it out, I guess.
Or not.
Or not. No, it can't be that bad, can it? I don't know. Do you know how to do them, DI Progan? Is that how you say your name? You can teach us.
Let's see.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking up in the spoiler. Oh yeah, lava still hurts us. I forgot. We don't have gravity yet. Well, I guess this is it, probably.
Straight climb
The precious room, yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess there were some other areas we could have gone. Like, we could have gone through that lower Norfair. What's that thing called? The Plower House room.
This is the room it wants you to
This
do.
is the room, and there's probably nothing over there. This is the way that the spoiler log says we have to go. So, like, what do you have to do? You have to do, like, a stationary spin jump or something into the...
I don't know how to do X-ray climb.
Well, that didn't work. Well, I wasn't in the air. I wasn't in the air. So I need to like that maybe? Will that work? I mean, I'm not stationary now. No, I was moving. How do you trigger the door transition and still be stationary? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Or do I just turn my... You're happy to report you were not involved in the X-ray climb at all.
Yeah, talk about next steps. I don't think you should try to learn the X-ray climb right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, next steps, what to do. So, like, there's some, like, stuff to do. It's just, like, finishing the randomizer. Like, it doesn't have end credits right now. And the escape is kind of silly. I was just hard-coded. There's, like, little things to fix, like that stuff in the SMJSON data that's not taken into account in the randomizer right now. So, like, I think I already mentioned the little bit of the shine spark energy or whatever, that extra 29, and then like the farming enemies and a few other things like details. Yeah, probably the code kind of needs to be cleaned up a lot. It's all kind of a mess. I'd like to make like a README to like explain how it's working and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool at some point to integrate it with SMZ3. I don't really know much about how SMZ3 is set up, how that will work, what that would look like. Or, I mean, there's other randomizers too. But I guess the thing is, like, using the graph SMJSON data is a pretty big change. Like, I think compared to like what those other randomizers are doing now. It'd be cool to be able to make it work with Zelda. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys want to see? Should I keep going with this seed? Or do we want to try like...
Oh yeah, that's another one
doing
to
an
add.
open seed? Oh, Shine Spark. Oh, between rooms. Yeah. That's another one that's not implemented yet. It totally could be. It will require like rethinking a little bit of how like the randomizer logic is set up, but that should basically be like it should be like a pre-processing step, I guess, at the beginning of processing a map. You can figure out how the runways connect and figure out like how many Shine Spark tiles you would need based on the tech. Like that's something that could be kind of pre-computed just one time at the map. Then like every attempt and every step of the item randomization could just like use that. Yeah, that is pretty interesting. Yeah, we haven't done that yet, but we totally could. Yeah, we should put that on the to-do list. It's another case of like trying to make the logic more accurate.
Yeah, so there are other things that aren't in, I don't believe are in the SM-JSON data as well, that could be added, like spike suits and blue suits and things like that. Bringing a speedball into a room, stuff like that. There's some things that aren't like represented that are kind of like similar. They're kind of similar in spirit to like the runways, like carrying speed into another room to charge a Shine Spark. But yeah, you can also just like bring a speedball in. Obviously,
or a mock ball, I guess.
Yeah,
is another.
Obviously, one of the next big things is to make it so all the doors aren't blue.
Yeah, I guess. I think we've been surprised a little bit at how much the game like even without turning the doors green and yellow or whatever, the game actually is pretty. The randomizer is able to make pretty closed seeds. That was kind of surprising. I kind of thought that with all the doors being blue, it would be too hard. Like the seed would kind of inevitably open up. But I don't know. So I guess I'm not totally convinced if we want to. We probably do want to, but it will require like thinking about how to randomize the doors. It makes it more interesting, I guess, in terms of like managing your ammo, because like you tend to not use ammo very much in this in the randomizer as it is right now. But yeah, if you had the doors to blow up, of course you only have to like blow them up once and then get back to a farm, and like you can recover the ammo. So it probably wouldn't like come into play too much in the logic of like the ammo usage. Maybe there'd be some cases where it would, like where you're not able to go back to a farm, but yeah, but it'd be interesting just in terms of like it would make more possibilities to like close the game off, I guess. To funnel, force the player to go a certain way or something. But yeah, I don't know.
Have you talked about how bosses work?
Oh yeah, yeah. We haven't even done any bosses in this seed yet. So first of all, like I said, all the doors are turned to blue except for the two, and like all the gray doors in particular are turned blue except for the two in the pit room. So that includes the boss doors. So this is kind of useful, I think, to not like force the player into a soft lock because you have the option to leave the boss room. So you're not going to get stuck in a boss room. So that's kind of nice, I guess. But it also kind of means like so I'm talking about like the four major bosses. Those so we hacked the mother brain room to add these four barriers at the beginning of the room that correspond to the four bosses. So you basically have to kill the four major bosses to reach mother brain. But it's not done using the statues room anymore because the statues room can be placed anywhere and it might not be blocking the pathway to mother brain. Most likely will not be blocking the pathway to mother brain. Yeah, it wasn't really going to work using the statues room anymore because it could very easily happen that some of the four bosses are blocked behind the statues room and then like you just can't do it. So yeah, the statues room now is just opened up. So Turian is open from the beginning. You can just go right through the statues room. Well, at least if you're going from top to bottom. Going from bottom to top, you need some items, like you need gravity or something, spring ball, to get up. But yeah. But yeah, you do have to kill the four major bosses in order to unlock Mother Brain. Yeah, and then the other, like the mini bosses are kind of interesting, and so like the four major bosses, they don't really block progression because you can just run through them. Like you can enter one side of Ridley and jump out the other side of Ridley without having to fight Ridley. Same with Dragon and Kraid. Well, not true with Kraid actually. If you going from right to left with Kraid, I guess you can without fighting him. Left to right, you actually would. But that fight only requires missiles, which you're like pretty much guaranteed to get very early anyways.
You should talk about Fantoon.
Fantoon. Oh yeah, so Fantoon does turn the ship on, like it does in the vanilla game, and there's a number of items that spawn after you turn the ship on. So Fantoon actually can block progression. Like you can have to kill Fantoon in order to like unlock those items.
Yeah, so if you get to an item that isn't there, it's probably because Fantoon needs to be killed or Zebes needs to be awakened.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the two things that like if there's a spot where like there is no item and there should be an item there, then it's one of those two things. If it's wrecked ship, then it's Fantoon. If it's Criteria or Blue Brent Star, it's Zebes. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess not quite sure if we want to keep it that way with the way the bosses behave, the major bosses. It might be more interesting to make them have their gray doors so that they can actually block movement through the map. Like you can't get behind them without killing the boss. In that case, we might want to have. It's just it maybe would be an annoying soft lock risk, which like the player has no control over because you just like find yourself in that room. You can have. I remember someone suggested like having the eye door before the boss to warn you that there's a boss there. So go save or whatever before you try this door, or try everything else before you try this door. Maybe that I think could help. I actually just removed all the eye doors. Removed the eye doors just because they require, they have some item requirement to kill them, right? You need a missile or super missile, and I didn't want to bother like adding that to the logic, so I just removed them. Also seemed kind of silly, like if you just kept the eye doors where they were, they're like no longer going to be a boss behind them generally. So, but yeah, maybe putting an eye door. If we turn the boss doors gray again, then maybe having the eye door would be enough to like warn you about the boss. On the other, and then you have to decide about the mini bosses, I guess. Like Batwoon, is that gonna turn gray behind you? Like, because that also like has requirements. You could soft lock in there. I mean, we could add an eye door there too, I guess. Like, we could add eye doors for like the mini bosses. Except I don't know. I guess you couldn't do it for Spore Spawn because it's a vertical door. Oh yeah, you can also kill Spore Spawn from the top.
That's not in the SMJSON data yet.
No, it's not in the SMJSON data yet, but it is possible. The graphics are messed up because it's like a red scroll room.
Pretty challenging. You have to do it with SBA.
You have to use SBAs, yeah, or
I think it was.
Can you not? No, you can't use Wave, huh?
I don't think Wave or Plasma will go through it.
Yeah.
I think
you
you
use
need
SBA Plasma.
I think you need
or?
Plasma SBA or Wave SBA.
Okay, that sounds.
I
right.
have some notes for it.
Yeah, I'll have to add that later. But yeah, we probably have to like patch the ROM to like fix the scroll color on the room so that the graphics don't get glitched. But yeah. So it's like little things like that. The Botwoon backdoor, those are already in the SMJSON data. You can kill Botwoon from the other side. I don't know if we ever do anything with Crocomire, like, cause right, Crocomire. Yeah, it'll just crash the game if you enter from the left right now. Maybe we could patch. We maybe could patch that to make it so you could enter from the left, just like spawn you. Do kind of like what it does with Kraid now. Like if you enter Kraid from the right, it just spawns you on the left side of the room, basically.
Kind of in the middle.
Kind of in the middle, but you can get to the left. Like it's the left of the two like screens or whatever at least. I don't know if we want to do that or not. I guess there's the same question about Mother Brain. If you enter the Mother Brain room from the left, what should happen? I think probably we just want to make that door gray so that you cannot enter it. We could do the same thing with Crocomire too. We could just turn the door gray so you can't enter it until after the boss is killed. Yeah, not sure. That stuff is a little tricky to implement in the ROM because like the ROM, like the conditions on a boss being killed, the way it's implemented in the game, it can only be for the current area. So like you can have a gray door that's unlocked by the boss in the current area being defeated. But the thing is, Crocomire, like if Crocomire is on the other side, that may be a different area from the area that has the gray door. So you have to think about how to make that work. But yeah. I mean, I guess you could just make it permanently gray and make it a one-way. No, that won't work actually because you could get stuck. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what we'll do with those ones. Right now, it'll just crash the game if you enter it the wrong way and once the boss is defeated, it works fine. So it's okay.
That's all I can think of.
Yeah, that's all I can think of. Yeah, maybe we call that good for now, unless anyone wants to see anything else. You can check it out. Obviously, check it out on maprando.com. Generate the seeds. Let us know if it's broken. There's probably lots of bugs still.
We've played quite a few seeds though, and it seems to be mostly playable. Like
Yeah.
you might encounter a bug once in a while, but you should still be able to beat most of them, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah. Assuming you know how to do all the tech that you have enabled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Well, thanks for joining. Maybe we'll end it here. Catch up in the chat later. Cool.